The highest mountain in the world is Mount Everest, sitting pretty at 8,848 meters in the Himalayas in Nepal. It's likely you already knew that. After all, ask 100 people in the world to name a mountain, and most will say Mount Everest. A lot of people also know that the second highest mountain in the world is K2, on the China-Pakistan border, but far fewer know that the third highest mountain in the world is called Kangchenjunga. Or how to spell that. It's not quite as simple as K2, that's for sure. So, how many of the highest mountains in the world do you really know? The 7 highest mountains in the world. Mount Everest. First climbed by Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay in 1953, Mount Everest is, of course, the highest mountain in the world. Everest has come under a lot of scrutiny recently. Photographs showing enormous queues near the summit have opened a huge debate about overcrowding on Everest. One thing's for sure though, the inherent draw at Mount Everest is not going to go away anytime soon. Mankind is drawn to the mountain like moths to a flame. As well as those looking to take the route from Everest Base Camp to the summit, trekking to Everest Base Camp itself is also hugely popular. In fact, it's become one of the world's most famous multi-day treks. K2 is also nicknamed the Savage Mountain. The second highest mountain in the world is K2. The mountain took its name from the notation used by the Great Trigonometrical Survey of British India. At the time, there wasn't an apparent local name for the mountain, and so it stuck. K2 is also nicknamed the Savage Mountain, which is cool in a slightly point break, over-the-top extreme kind of way. It is fitting, though, too. The mountain is typically considered one of the toughest mountains in the world to climb, notoriously harder than Mount Everest, despite being the second tallest mountain in the world. K2 actually has the second highest fatality rate per summit attempt of all mountains over 8,000 meters, with around 300 successful summits and 77 deaths.
Kangchenjunga, Himalayas, Nepal, India 8586 meters. So you knew Mount Everest was the highest mountain in the world. You even knew K2 was the second highest. But we're betting if you asked most people what Kangchenjunga was, they'd guess it was some kind of street food. It is not. Kangchenjunga is the third highest mountain in the world. It can be found between Nepal and Sikkim in India, with 3 of the peaks on the border and the other 2 in the Taplejung district of Nepal. This makes Kangchenjunga the highest peak in India. The mountain was actually thought to be the highest mountain in the world until 1852. This wasn't because people didn't know about Mount Everest but because they had done their calculations wrong. After further homework by the Great Trigonometrical Survey of India, it was discovered that actually Kangchenjunga was the third highest mountain in the world, and children around the world breathed a sigh of relief that they would be primarily learning about Mount Everest instead, a mountain which is significantly easier to both say and spell. Lhotse Mountain, Himalayas, Nepal, Tibet Autonomous Region, China 8,516 meters. Lhotse is one of the more famous mountains on any list of the top 10 highest mountains in the world, largely because of its proximity to Mount Everest. The route up Lhotse is the same as that of Mount Everest from Everest Base Camp until you pass Camp 3 and then depart to the Resculwar from the Lhotse face, from where the peak of Lhotse is reached. Lhotse is a little like the neglected younger sibling of Mount Everest. Everest gets all the attention while Lhotse, though often considered more visually attractive, is significantly less busy. While the main summit of Lhotse was first climbed in 1956, the Lhotse Middle actually remained the highest unclimbed, named point on Earth for decades. It was eventually first scaled in 2011 by a Russian expedition. Makalu, Himalayas, Nepal, Tibet Autonomous Region, China 8485 meters. Makalu is the third of the 4 8,000 meters high mountains in the Everest Massif in Nepal. It was first summited by a French expedition led by Jean Franco in 1955. Their ascent was most notable for the fact that a full 10 members of the expedition team summited the mountain on the trip. In those days, it was normally only 1 or 2 climbers from each team who reached the top of the mountain on an expedition, so this was a huge deal at the time, and generally, it's just quite nice, isn't it? The first two summited on the 15th of May 1955, then 4 more went up the next day, then 4 more went up the day after that. Just very wholesome mountain climbing, really. Choyu, Himalayas, Nepal, Tibet Autonomous Region, China 8,188 meters. The fourth and final member of the Everest region's 8,000 meters club is Choyu. The sixth highest mountain in the world at 8,188 meters, Choyu is considered the easiest of the 8,000 meters mountains to climb due to the gentler slopes of the ascent. It's also just a few kilometers away from the Nangpula Pass, a major trading route between the Tibetan and Khumbu Sherpas. If the 4 mountains in the Everest region over 8,000 meters were in a boy band, Choyu would be the laid-back, easy-going backup singer. Not the most flamboyant one, but probably the most relatable. Dhaulagiri, Nepal 8,167 meters. The Dhaulagiri in Nepal is the 7th highest mountain in the world at 8,167 meters, and one of the most aesthetically stunning mountains of the lot. The Dhaulagiri was first climbed on the 13th of May 1960, but is perhaps best known for its visibility on the popular Annapurna circuit. With Annapurna just 34 kilometers away and the Dhaulagiri a regular feature on the skyline while trekking Annapurna. The Dhaulagiri in Nepal is the 7th highest mountain in the world at 8,167 meters, and one of the most aesthetically stunning mountains of the lot. The Dhaulagiri was first climbed on the 13th of May 1960, but is perhaps best known for its visibility on the popular Annapurna circuit. With Annapurna just 34 kilometers away and the Dhaulagiri a regular feature on the skyline while trekking Annapurna. The mountains are separated by the world's steepest gorge, the Kalagandaki Gorge, so it's not a part of the world that's particularly struggling for scenery. And there you have it. Those are the 7 highest mountains in the world, the 7 highest summits. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe.